Hi, and welcome to a part two of today's special. No, um, sorry, I do that sometimes. I just go in my brain. It sometimes turns out funny. So, this is not part two of today's Wednesday video. What this is a follow up to one of the other videos. So, what this, and I'm sorry, I have you guys in like just the barely edge corner here. It's because I have too much personal information because this is my school stuff. This is from when I was working on the empty laboratory story, and this was part of my review. Well, I often say things like, well, you know what they say. They is me. They is usually me. And if you'll take a look right here at this highlighted portion that the teacher put here. So I'm gonna have to move some things around so I can read what she wrote. But the premise of what she wrote, the whole topic synopsis is, you see how it says, what I wrote is, they say that if you are going to reach for something, then make sure it won't burn you. I mean, they do. They don't say it quite so eloquently as that. But how often do you get told, let's say you work in a kitchen, because this is where I've heard it a lot, where it's not just an afterthought. They say, hey, make sure you check that pan before you pick it up. Now, I'm talking about pans that are not in the oven. They're sitting on a table waiting for you to take the food off of them. If you let that food sit there until the pan gets cold enough that you can just pick the pan up, then you have probably messed up because the food's probably just as cold as the pan. It's likely. This goes to say that, like in a kitchen setting, there's a lot of metal counters, makes them easier to wipe off and clean up. If you put a hot tray on a metal counter, that metal counter is going to absorb the heat. So it's often said in the kitchens, hey, make sure it's not hot before you pick it up. Make sure it's not hot before you put your hand there. You know, it's constantly being said, make sure something's not hot or check it. I'm sure you guys have had parents or something say, "Hey, I put you a plate in the oven, but check it before you pick it up." I don't know if that's a thing anymore because, the advent of microwaves kind of did that. Um, but if you put the wrong dish into a microwave, you might have to give it that little tap to make sure that it's not too hot to pick up. It's an idea in our heads that we all need to become familiar with. What? Oh. I can't wait to see what that is. Sorry, I got distracted. I got a message from a family member. So yeah, this might not be something that is an idiom. And that's pretty much what the teacher was saying. She's never heard of that idiom before, but it is so fitting to the story. As I put it here, is personal reflection. Oh my God, my phone's going off like crazy. All good things though. So personal reflection, my personal connection. I can relate to wishing I was there for my children's experiences more. I do not understand why he was working on that sort of virus intentionally. His feelings of solitude likely came from his overactive senses. He mentioned seeing mirages. He mentioned that it was too quiet. But the birds are numerous and singing. There were contradictory statements in this. And again, go find my other video. I have a link to the empty laboratory. It is a very, very new short story. Is it amazing? No. Um, as I said, there were things in there that missed the beat. But if you go to the short story and you read the comments, you will see this guy is getting a lot of help from that platform that he put it on because he was, I think he won the writing contest that platform was holding. And I'm saying that platform because I've already forgotten where it came from. I apologize. It's in my video. But this is not the only thing I want to talk about. But again, check that out. I don't care if you even watch my video. Just go check out the website. I'm sorry I forgot what it's called. So I had another one here. So give me just a minute so I don't like splay all my information out. E and this one, right? Yeah, this one. So with this one right here, the assignment is called Exploring Literary Concepts and Drafting with Generative AI. Is it Gen? I put Gen and I don't even remember what it stands for anymore. I think it's generative, but generative, I don't, in general. Anyway, not going over things I don't remember. So I got a 100 on this. And all it was is that I was supposed to go back through and use this AI, which I have over here. I used ChatGPT. That was the one she was suggesting at first, but then later she started suggesting Perplexity because Perplexity uses more often it will use something that is like cited, like a .org or something that's just in general a better citation. More. I'm messing up my words right now, but it's more reliable. So we were going over a story, and I forgot what the story was. Oh, we had to create an essay. We had to create an essay based off of critiquing Gen AI. So she says this because I wrote the essay and I'd never used ChatGPT before I took her English 1101 class, and I'm now in her second class. I really didn't care much for it. I didn't like it, but then I found out that it's in Google. And when I Google a question, ChatGPT was helping me with it. Um, so at least that's why I understood. I could be wrong. Put in the comments if I'm wrong. That's the way I understand it. So she says, although the rubric does not cover this, I wanted to tell you that I appreciate that you kept your authentic voice. Many students tend to overuse the jargon AI gives. You do well balancing both. Well, here's the thing. If AI uses a jargon that I don't understand, I may look it up and use it. But because I'm still in beginning level classes, and I say beginning level because some of the students in there are high school students, I'm not really pushing that anymore. If I don't understand the jargon, I'm not going to go look it up. I have too many other things to do. So I simply won't use the term. And I'll use my words again. I now have an understanding that the words that the AI scrunched together now look like I have an understanding that that means something similar to what I said. But oh, that's right. I did forget there was an essay we were supposed to be doing. It was I was doing an essay on solo leveling, and I may be doing my final essay on that. Not really sure. I've talked with her a few times, and since solo leveling is something that's very new and very niche, she's not sure if there's gonna be any like certifiable literary points to it because she wants someone to have done this before. But she said that she's perfectly okay with it as long as I can find semi-reputable sources that either go against like polarity of my wording. But the idea is we're just trying to prove a point in our final. But yeah, so I have a way of speaking. Oh, 10-minute marker. But I'm going on. because I'm speaking. Anyway, I have a way of speaking that I'm trying to get a point across a certain way. It does not matter to me if it's grammatically correct or not. I do get caught up sometimes on trying to remember a word while I'm talking, but when I'm writing, it's a real quick thing to go look up the word I'm looking for, or just say the sentence I'm trying to fit into a word. It's like air. What is air? Okay, air's got a certain composition to it, or it's just an element. Which one do you want to portray? Do you want to portray the element, or do you want to portray the composition of different molecules that we breathe in to sustain life, but also break down certain particles of our body? It's all about which air are you talking about. So if I say that the air blew by or the air felt stale, I'm talking about the element. If I start talking about there were other noxious chemicals inside the air, now I'm talking about the particles that make up air. Think about that when you write. If the AI tells you that the air blew swiftly, don't say that the O2 was released from the can at pressure. The air blew swiftly is the element. Now, if you are talking about CO2 being released from a canister or from a room, you may be talking about the element, not the element, but the actual composition of air. It just depends. Think about that when you write. But yes, those are my two feedbacks off of two things that I just had graded. I love putting feedback out there. If any of you are on my Facebook page, yes, I have a Facebook page. That's also why I don't want to tell just everybody what my real name is, because you can find me on Facebook. And I want that to stay me. This is Flamefuel. Thank you for fueling the fire.